What's going on, guys? One, love out to everybody. We got UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady. Prediction breakdown here, guys, over there in London, England. 1 p.m. Eastern. Before I get started, hit the thumbs up button. Also subscribe to this channel. Also check out my Patreon account, guys, for all my face-off prediction and prop plays. That last card that went by, I did pretty good on it, on the face-offs. So, like I said, I will go back and watch face-off, watch the wins, and whatever I feel like I see from the guys. If they don't make weight or so forth, or just a mannerism, I'll make changes, and I did. And I went in the face-offs. I went 11-2. The only one I missed was AJ and Zaleski. Those are only 2 fights I missed. All the other fights, actually had them coming in. So I made a good amount of changes, you know, from watching the face-offs. So if you haven't checked out the Patreon, go over there and check it out, because I leave the prop plays and the face-offs over there. I usually drop them under maybe like right after the face-offs and the weigh-ins, right? Which is usually on Friday. So yeah, so just jump to this card here real quick, guys. Also, you can donate to my PayPal account also, or the links will be down below. 13 fights on this card. Let's fly through it real quick, but accurately. And this card is, I thought it was a pay-per-view card, but it's going to be over there in England. O2 Arena. Going to be the bigger cage, and let's knock this over real quick. First fight here, guys, we have Guram Kutateladze versus Caio Fernandez. Guram here, he will start kind of slow at times, and he mostly wants to wrestle. You know, he will more push like a more of a, I wouldn't say a high pace in the beginning, but in the later rounds, he may pick it up, start to grind a lot more. He will also strike too, but his main thing is mostly his wrestling. His opponent here, Fernandez. Fernandez, BJJ black belt. Striking is not bad. Have more of a Muay Thai kind of stand up. Quick with the leg kicks. Quick with the punches. Can get wild at times, but he's accurate and he's quick. Can't get taken down though. I think that's one of his weaknesses. Even though he's a BJJ black belt, he can get taken down, and he usually spends most of his time on his back, you know, for the whole rounds. Doesn't scramble up well. Like I said, he spent a lot of time on his back, which is not good in this fight, because Guram will most likely get a takedown on him. But Guram is also hittable and can get hurt on the foot, and also can get knocked out. So this is a fight where I'm zero confident in it. It's a 50-50 in my opinion. And yeah, it's a fight where you got to be very, very careful, because Fernandez could actually win this fight. Alright, so let's quick look at the odds. Fernandez could win, guys. Remember I told you that, because I was kind of feeling, you know, picking for Hernandez, but I was like, why not? You know, he strikes well, but it's just his takedown defense is just not that good. And you know, Guram is known to chain wrestle and will grind for it, you know, and keep pushing, right? Let's see here. Wow, we have him at 400 and something. Holy crap, bro. In my opinion, this fight is even, for the same reason I told you, that, you know, the striking for Fernandez is very elusive. You know, pack a lot of power, is quick with it, a lot of leg kicks too. So if he can land leg kicks early on Guram's foot, you know what I mean? He possibly could take away the takedowns. So this is a fight here, guys. When you see the odds like this, you know, like we saw from last week card with a lot of underdogs came in. I think like 6 underdogs. And like I said, I had nearly, I think I had all of them from off the face-off. But like I said, when you see stuff like this where the odds are so high in a particular guy, even though Guram is good, but there's still little holes, you know, that you can touch him up, he will get tired. You know, when you see like 400 or something, and the guy like Fernandez who can strike, and he's pretty good, he's a BJJ black belt, he's not like, you know, he's not like a one-dimensional fighter. You know, just that he can get taken down. You know, you gotta be careful with it, man. I'm still go with Guram, but this is an even fight. All right, just remember I told you that. You know that Fernandez has a good chance of winning. Okay. Next fight here, guys. We got upsets happen all the time, man. All the time. All the time. Especially when the odds are so high like that. We have Colin Lundgren versus Nathan Fletcher. These guys fought before, so this is part 2. The first fight, it was like a blowout. I mean, Fletcher took him down and just, you know, he just had his way with him. Almost submitted him too. But I see from Colin though. Colin, I mean, you know, he's well rounded with the wrestle, with strike, but doesn't move his head off center line. Kind of stiff with the movement. But look for takedown, kind of walks you down, but like I said, you know, it's just kind of stiff with the movement. He's hittable, doesn't move his head. He smothers his punches at times. He fought in amateur though, like I said, this is part 2, and they fought in amateur at 135. You know, this fight here is going to be at, hold on there, he fought Jake Adley at 1, okay. What did I think this fight was at? He fought at 145 before, right? Yeah, he fought at 145. Okay, so okay, he fought at 145 one time. So yeah, it's the same. It's like one is 135 amateurs, and Fletcher won that, you know, by unanimous decision. You know, pretty much a blowout. You know, took him down. What I see from Nathan Fletcher though, Nathan Fletcher, he wants the ground, man. And he will look for the submission, and that's his main thing. Striking wise, between him and Colin, I mean, striking is kind of even in my opinion. I mean, like I said, Colin is kind of stiff with it. He kind of telegraphs, his head don't move. He's kind of tense. You know, I just feel that Fletcher beat him the first time, and Fletcher most likely can get the takedowns. Probably even can look for a submission in this one. But I'm gonna say Fletcher by decision, guys. But it's 50-50 still. You know, there's always a chance of Colin could win. There's a possibility. And also keep in mind, guys, a lot of these guys here, some of the guys are from the hometown, you know, from England. So, you know, if it goes to judges, you know, we see robbers all the time. So you could see some split decision robbers all over this. So, okay. So these guys are hometown, and it gets loud over there. And they favor the fighters a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Nathan Fletcher. I'm gonna say Nathan Fletcher by by decision is a 50-50. Okay, odds here, even fight. I do not disagree. At least I got this one right. Even fight. I don't disagree. Next fight we got Shannon Bonnan versus Puja Tomar. Bonnan here is gonna have the 6-inch reach, which is massive. More striking base. Kind of like I would say like a taekwondo, more of a karate kind of base on her. You know, strike from the outside, counter strikes, you know, use the kicks instead of punches instead of the kicks, but not much power behind it, you know, and at times she can be hittable. She has a side kick that throws, but it doesn't really, you know, she don't really pack a lot of power like that. Like I said, she's hittable, she can get taken down. With Puja here, Puja hits harder, right? Her technique, her form is a little better. She has a 59-inch reach though. Wow. But she's heavy with the left kick, you know, especially to the body, and then she follow up with the straight. I believe it's a straight left punch. So, but she's powerful with it though. Sometimes she can get a little wild, you know, throws everything 100%. Sometimes she can gas herself out. But what I see from Puja, I mean, she has potential and she has the power and everything like that. But I just don't see what Shannon's going to do to really, you know, instill any, like, I guess I want to say damage, right? Just there's no power in it. I mean, Shannon could also go for takedowns, but even the takedowns from Shannon is not that great. So this is like it's kind of like a low-level fight, but I just feel like Puja, her technique, her striking is like better than Shannon. It's like it's more effective. It's better technique, you know, which produces power. She's quicker at the movement. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Puja. I'm gonna say Puja by KO TQ in that second round, guys, but definitely not confident in this one. Zero confidence. Like I said, with women fights, I mean, we know how that goes. They have Shannon at 170. This fight is even. I mean, what I see from Puja with let's fight southpaw, so that left kick is powerful, man, especially to the body, and she packed it up, and especially to the legs too. She throws a lot of heavy shots, and her form and technique is not bad. I don't see why Shannon is at 170 or 160. I feel that Puja is just the more heavier hitter here, but even though still, you know, she can throw those punches and gas herself out, and Shannon could just come back and win. But this fight is even to me, guys, so I'll be very careful with it. But I like Puja for the win, though. All right. Next fighter, we have Andrei Pulev versus CLD, Christian Leroy Duncan. Andre here come up the contender series, the next contender series guy, like we see in the last card. A lot of contender series guys came in and lost the last card, right? Massive on the odds for being favored and lost. This happens all the time, bro. This guy here, heavy left kick, heavy punching strikes. Chin is kind of high up in the air though. Let me see here. What I have here? Let me see here. Punches. Let me see. Let me see here. Heavy. I'm just reading my notes here. Heavy left kick. Chin is kind of high up. Punches to. Oh yeah, he punches like when he punches, sometimes he overextend, like overcommit, and like leaves his chin out there. So when he will go to the body, but then he's like reaching, bro. And when he reaches, he's slow. So he telegraph, and he's there for like a couple seconds, dude. It's like you can't do that against a guy that's athletic like CLD, because a guy like CLD, if you do that, he's gonna just either fly knee or most likely it's gonna be a knee or something like that, because he's leaving himself way open. He's lunging in with his chin, punching, reaching for the body shot, but he's like overcommitting too much, right? With CLD here, CLD is an athletic guy, man. It depends on who he fight. He may lose. If he fights a good wrestler, he have problem. But striking wise, he's pretty sound. Movement is good, very explosive, very athletic guy, man. Timing, speed, and precision. You know what I'm saying? If Andre is doing what he's doing on the contender series, you could see CLD possibly getting a knockout. I see CLD by KO TKO, guys, in the second round. Am I confident in that one? Not slightly. I'll probably give him like a 60% to CLD and 40 to Andre. With these cards nowadays, man, it's hard to like read these guys, man. 'Cause a lot of these guys are upcomer new guys, and they're coming from other organization. You know, and they're not really tested too much. You know, coming off the contender series, you know, it's like it's difficult to get a good read on them. You know, so CLD by KO TKO, we got Leroy Duncan 500 and something. I mean, I have him on 60%, but like I said again, guys, you know, his opponent Andre does, you know, he does throw his hands and foot. You know what I mean? So, but I just feel like with CLD, he's just more versatile. You know, his movement going to give him problems, and just timing and precision of the strikes. And a guy like Andre leaves his chin out there. So 500, you know, like we see with all the cards, man. Most of the cards, you know, the odds are so high in these guys and end up dropping the ball. So still be careful, man. But I feel CLD should win this one, though. All right. Next fight here, guys. We got Marcin Tybura versus Mick Parkin. Marcin Tybura, this guy's an experienced guy, man. And when you count him out, he comes in winning. And he will submit you, will ground and pound you. And he shows it. He's a veteran, man. A guy like this is 26-9, dude. You know, I know they like to match up these guys here with like 10-0 against 26-9 and all these things. But we've been seeing happening. And those guys with the record that's not experienced end up losing because they don't have the experience for these guys. It doesn't matter what the age look like, it's just the experience, dude. If you have like 6-0, you know, going up against a 26-8 guy or 26-9, I mean, it all depends on the skills too. if he's a true prospect. Do I feel Mick is a true prospect? I feel Mick is pretty good, man. I feel Mick is good. He got the speed, the timing. He got the ground defense. He hits hard. He's in and out. He's durable. I feel like he's a good prospect here. Like I said, we see this all the time though. 10-0 guys going up against these super veterans like Marcin Tybura and the losing. It just happens all the time. I'm gonna go with Mick here because I just feel like what I see from Marcin is like he can strike, but the striking is not really too much, but he will still use it to look for the wrestling and takedown and then look for submissions and ground and pound. He's more a guy that can get on top of you and put a body weight on you. Can he do that with Mick? It's possible, but what I see from Mick is defense. He's like well rounded and he shows it. And he also pack power, speed, and everything like that. His timing is not bad. So I'm gonna go with Mick here, man. I mean, like I said, man, am I confident? No, it's 50-50. Because like I said, we see this all the time, Guys like Marcin Tybura, super veteran experience. You got 10-0 Mick. Mick hasn't really fought nobody really, you know what I mean? So he hasn't really fought nobody really, you see? So this one is an even fight, and Tybura could win. So be careful with this one. And I say Mick by KO TK in the first round, guys. They have close fights. You can say it's like an even fight. They got Mick as a slight favorite, but you can say it's like even. Right? They got Tybura as a slight underdog. So that's I mean, this right here is not bad because like I said, I feel Mick is a good prospect. So and he shows it. Right? So Mick by KO TK in the first round, guys. Next fighter, we got Gunnar Kutateladze versus Felipe dos Santos. Gunnar is a pretty good prospect too. Skilled guy, he's well-rounded, very technical, striking, pretty good counter strikes, timing, speed, accuracy, he's slick with it. And he's pretty well-rounded. Felipe dos Santos, 3-inch of reach, 3-inch of height, which is massive. Skilled guy also, but can get taken down though. And that's one of the things too. But he will also look for takedowns. He's a pressure fighter, come forward, but he's also hittable. You can touch him up. And a guy like Gunnar, a guy that can strike like that with accuracy and counter strike, it's not a good formula. To come in there and have a poor defense. So I feel Santos get touched up a lot. I'm going to go with Gunnar for this one. I'm going to say Gunnar by decision. But like I said, I'm not super confident in this one. Again, we have an 8-0 guy coming from the Contender Series, but he did fight in the UFC already. I believe he had 1 or 2 fights. He had like one fight against Jose. Again, what I see from this kid is good. But again, man, it's 8-0, even though he has some kickboxing matches too. I believe he had a lot of fights in kickboxing. I think so. I mean, I could be wrong. But I'm going to Gunnar. I'm going to say Gunnar by decision. Quick look at the odds here, guys. Gunnar is 290. Santos is underdog here, plus 235. I mean, like I said, I feel Santos is very hittable, and Gunar's a corner striker, moves well, speed, time, and precision. I feel like he should win this fight. All right, but still be careful, man. I mean, we see it all the time. Like I mentioned, these guys with high odds, you dropping the ball, especially when they're 8-0 and 10-0. Right, we see this all the time, man. It's usually the more experienced guys or the ones that are winning. You know what I mean? So, but let's see what happens. But again, Gunar's experience, like I said, he has a lot more fights like kickboxing and stuff like that. So next fighter, we got Jai Herbert versus Chris Pantoja. Next experienced guy here, and Jai Herbert from out of England here. Also, Gunnar is also fighting out of England too, I believe. Shows a China flag there, but I believe he born in England. So I think he lived in China or something like that. So Jai Herbert here is the next skilled guy here. He got the 4-inch of height, 3-inch of reach, experience, decent boxing. His ground game, his grappling is pretty good. Can't get hurt in the foot though. Can't get dazed and knocked out. It happens, He's a guy that if you touch him, he can go out. His opponent Pantoja though. Pantoja is a well-rounded guy. Kind of sneaky with it. Kind of pace himself. Crafty. But he's also hittable. But this guy is crafty. He will look for the ground. He will look for the submission on you. This one, in my opinion, like I said, like most of the fights on this card is even too, man. I like Jai Herbert for the win here, though, for more experience and just overall more of the veteran. And I feel Jai Herbert is more skilled here, you know. But again, like I said, Pandela is very crafty, and he will find a way to pull off a win on you. So you gotta be careful with this one, guys. Quick look at the odds there. They got it's even fight again. I don't disagree with that. See, I don't disagree. Perfect. So either one of these guys can win, guys. But I'm going with Jai Herbert. So we see what happened. I say Jai Herbert by decision. I'm not confident though. Okay. Next fight we got Nathaniel Wood versus Morgan Charrière. Hometown favorite again in Wood. Wood is experienced guy, man, veteran, well-rounded, skilled. Could slow down in the later rounds. When he slowed down, it's like he gets taken down. He's on his back the entire round. It's just not a good look. The fight against when he fought Daniel here, he was winning for a second round, and in the third round he just like completely just lay on his back. It's not a good look, you know. Fighting a guy like Morgan. Morgan is athletic. He's explosive, he's skilled everywhere, his takedowns are good, punching power, movement, physically strong. Also, you can't get tired against this guy here. You get tired, he's gonna beat on you. He's gonna pull off the win on you, man. I was kind of looking more to push towards Wood, but this could be one thing here where again we go to judging system and then Wood pull off a split decision. So this is a fight where I'll be very careful with. But I don't know, man. I'm not liking too much what I see from Wood. You know, from his last fights, you know, even against when he fought Muhammad, you know, I didn't like how he looked, and he was getting taken down and control and everything. It just didn't look good. You know what I mean? Yeah, a guy like Morgan's gonna push a high pace and just keep coming forward. And if Wood, you know, doesn't stop the takedowns, he's gonna get taken down. You know, Wood can strike. He worked the legs, a lot of leg kicks, and mixed up with punches, but I'm going to push towards Morgan here, but again, this could be a robbery and Wood win by split, so be careful with this one. But I'm going to say Morgan by decision. That is a 50-50, guys. All right. Morgan is 142, slight favorite, and Wood is underdog. Okay, so kind of see it the same way how I see it. To me, it's even because Wood can win. So, but like I said, with Morgan, he's just explosive. He's very athletic. He's physically strong, and he has skills. You know, not just being physically strong. Like I said, you can be physically strong all you want, but if you don't have the credentials like the technique and stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense. Because you have a guy like Nathaniel Wood who may not be as physically strong, but just the fact that he has the techniques, he could beat you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not just all about being strong. That doesn't make any sense, right? So I'm gonna go with Morgan, like I said, by decision, guys. Next fighter, we got Jordan Vucenic versus Chris Duncan. Jordan here, he doesn't look too bad, man. His fight here against Guram, yeah, I mean, he didn't look too bad against him. He started off real nice, and then he just faded. He looked like he was going to win the fight. I mean, I thought he was going to win the fight. Quick hands, movement, can get taken down though, but he will also submit you. And Jordan actually lost him. Jordan beat Morgan, I believe, by a split decision. Yeah, he beat him by a split. So what I said from Jordan, he doesn't look bad, man. He counter strikes, fast at the movement, close the distance quickly. His defense is not bad, but he can get taken down. With Duncan though, Duncan striking is still in the works, you know, but his thing is more to wrestle. But you know, he mixes it up though still. But you can tell that he's still hittable. Sometimes you can reverse him on the takedowns. You can stuff his takedowns, and then sometimes he will try to take you down and he can't get it. Right, like I said, you stuff it. Right. So this is a fight here, and striking. Well, I don't think Duncan can hang with Jordan in striking. I think Jordan is just more elusive. He's more technical with it, man. You know, and I feel even on the ground, Jordan can also find a submission. So I'm gonna say Jordan by submission, and then most of Jordan wins are actually by submission. So I'm gonna push towards Jordan for the submission here, guys. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it could also be a knockout too, but I feel more submission on this one. 6 by submission. I say submission in the second round, guys, and it's a 50-50 for me. Quick look at the odds here. Wow, I disagree with that, man. Nah, man. Like I said, I like what I see from Jordan, but 450 something, man. Chris is live on that one. Chris is live, bro. And like we see with Chris Duncan, you know, it's a guy that you count him out, and he pulled off the people. Everybody had Oki with him. Everybody had Oki. And who did I have winning? I had Chris Duncan winning. Cause I just see it. I just feel Oki was just. He's good. He's raw, but that's the experience. And like I said, a 9 and was he? I think it was 9-0, right? No, it was 9-1. So it's like, you know, he got caught in the guillotine. It happens, but you just that Chris is just experience. You know what I'm saying? But we look at Jordan. Jordan is experienced too, as far as like saying like, you know, the quality of fighters that he fight. Chris is more experienced because of the UFC fights he had, right? So you can't count Chris out. So this guy being such a big underdog, it doesn't make any sense to me. Because if Jordan gets tired, similar to what he did with Guram, you could see him losing. So the odds in this one is bonkers. It's crazy. So which I don't like to use the word crazy, but you know, just saying odds is just not good, dude. I would have this fight actually at even. You know what I'm saying? I would actually have this fight at even. So be careful with this one because Chris could win. Okay, but I'll say Jordan by submission in the second round. Next fight here, guys. Let's see. We have Molly McCann versus Alexa Tanara. Man, this one is just a toss-up, guys. This is heads or tail, bro. I mean, Molly McCann again, the hometown favorite. They love her over there. You know what I'm saying? Her and Patty and the rest of them. But she's experienced, though. She is well-rounded, but she would drop the ball, though. You know what I mean? You could submit her, you know, she get caught in armbar, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. But when she let her hands go, you know, she does pack some kind of power behind it. She will look for the takedowns, too. Her opponent, her Alexa's coming straight off the Contender Series, the next Contender Series fighter. You know, very raw, kind of brawl at times. We'll also look for the submission, swings wild, kind of leave herself open. Just she's like all over the place, man. Lost to Bruna Brazil by submission. Both of them lose to Bruna Brazil. That's where their last fight. Well, not Alexa last fight, but Molly McCann last fight was Bruna Brazil, I believe. Yeah, man, this one I was like up and down. It was like heads or tail. I'm gonna go with Molly McCann, man. Like I said, with the women fights, guys, it's just heads or tail. To be honest with you, man, sometimes it's difficult. Like I said, a lot of these fighters here are coming from Contender Series. It's hard to put a read on them. I know Molly McCann more experience here, 11-1. They're probably trying to give Molly a win. He just don't know what's happening here. It just could be all over the place, man. But I'll go Molly McCann by decision, man. But there's zero confidence in it. They got Alex at negative 200. Why? You know, again, Molly could drop the ball, but coming from Contender Series, why is she so high? Like we see all the time. I'm not surprised that she's not like 500 or 1,000. This fight is even, man, because Molly obviously could win the fight. So, alright. So even though she would drop the ball, but this could be a female that she could possibly beat. So, alright. So I like Molly McCann on that one, but again, heads or tail. Next fight here we have Kevin Holland versus Gunnar Nelson, man. Kevin Holland going back to 170. Usually at 170 he doesn't get submitted from what I see, and he does better at 170. 9-inch of reach, 4-inch of height, man. Skilled guy still, you know, he has potential still, and the guys have, you know, has a lot of fights. The guy's like a veteran. He's been there, done that, you know, fight some good guys, lost some good guys, can get taken down and submitted. I mean, that's usually his thing, but usually at 185, that's mostly when it happens. You know, when he's up there at 185, this guy's the frame, the body, a little bit bigger, you know, smaller frame, and he takes a lot of damage, especially at 185, even at 172. I don't know, man. I just feel Kevin Holland is just, I don't know. I just feel like he's not focused. You know, he's not locked in. You know, when you're doing anything, doesn't matter what you're doing. Like I spoke on, you know, focus on what you're doing. Like whatever you want to manifest, your needs, you know, the important things. You focus on that and you keep your focus on it. And I know it's hard because there are distractions all the time. There's always things to distract you. There's women, there's marijuana, there's alcohol, there's drugs, you know what I'm saying? There's sex, everything to distract you. And sometimes it's difficult to stay focused on what you really want, and that's why sometimes you got to turn off everything and just focus on what you want. And when you focus on it and you're zoning on it, there's no other way but to get what you want, because you're putting your attention on what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like he's focused like that. Again, I could be wrong. He could prove me wrong in this fight. Gunnar Nelson, more of a karate-based fighter. Hasn't been active though. Last fight was in 2023. Has more of a Goju-Ryu kind of style. If you guys know what Goju-Ryu is, it's a karate martial art. BJJ black belt also, and very good on the ground. Very good with takedowns, wrestling, and will submit you. But hasn't fought since 2023. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I mean, this next one is a toss-up. I mean, can Kevin Holland win? Of course he can win. He's going to have the hell of a reach. He's going to have a friggin' 9-inch of reach. He's going to have a 9-inch of reach, which is massive. But can he stop takedowns? At 170, he does better. So he may have a chance here. But Gunnar Nelson is not a joke. Gunnar Nelson is pretty good, man. This guy's pretty skilled. He hasn't been active, though. But he's skilled, though. Very, very skilled. Also, Nelson can get a hurt on the foot. But again, with the Holland, man, he just don't know what to expect, bro. I'm gonna go with Nelson here. I'm gonna say Nelson by submission in the second round, guys, but I could be wrong because at 170, and Kevin usually looks better at 170, so that actually makes more sense to probably go with Kevin Holland. But it's just, man, it's just the focus and just his performance just hasn't been looking good. You know, I mean, and he's fighting a guy like Gunnar Nelson, who's not a Gunnar Nelson is not a Ken. It's not like an easy fight. It's negative 150. So, yep, you had him at negative 130. Well, yeah, like 150, 130. Calling underdogs, it's kind of like an even fight, which makes sense. I had the fight as even, and the reason why I have it as even because Holland does better at 170. And his reach advantage. It's going to be the bigger guy in there. That's the only reason why I feel like Holland may win. But again, it's, you know, it's difficult to pick Holland like that because he's just not focused, and it's not like he's just fighting anybody, you know. So I'm gonna go with Nelson by submission second round, and I'm not confident in that one at all. Zero confidence. All right. Next fight, we got Jan Volkovich versus Carlos Ulberg. Jan hasn't been fighting either. Hasn't fought since 2023, but this guy's a super veteran. You know, he don't let the age mess you up. You know, he has 29-10 fighting. Carlos Ulberg was 11-1. Like I said, from all other cards, you have these guys that are coming up. You know, new prospects are trying to make a name, and they're fighting these super veterans, and they just drop the ball. You know. But I see from Ulberg though, I was surprised from his last fight. You know, I actually had Volkan winning, and I was surprised. He looked very good in that fight. His takedown defense, his energy, his cardio, he looked pretty good in that fight. He looked very good in that fight. I mean, I was impressed. He made a lot of improvement. If he comes into this fight and fight the same way like he did Volkan, he should beat one, right? Juan Volkovich is good, but there's a speed from Carlos. Like the improvement he made, his gas tank looks good, pace himself well, movement, athletic, quick, sharp, counter strike, explosive. I mean, I don't see why he shouldn't win. You know, and he's been tested a little bit. He's been tested. Volkan Azamir is a next veteran guy. That's a pretty good guy that pack a lot of power. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good test, and he passed it with flying colors. You know what I'm saying? So I'm liking Carlos. I'm gonna say Carlos by KO TK in the second round. You know, when it's like this, yeah, he's 11-1, but he's proven himself. You know, and then also his attributes, his techniques, his skill set shows. and it shows that he's improvement, and he's fighting tough competition. The last fight was tough, and he just went in there and sprawl and take on defense and land his shots. He stayed off center line, didn't take too much damage, you know, and he controlled his gas tank and pace himself. Man, I'm going to go with Carlos. I'm going to say Carlos by KO TKO in the second round, guys. I still say 50-50 because you don't want to sleep on a veteran. You never want to sleep on a veteran. Like I said, man, we see this all the time, 11-1, 29-10. But 29-10 is a good, you know, is a good mixed martial artist as far as experience is concerned and skill. So even though Carlos has improved, and I like what I see, but it happens, man. You know what I'm saying? It just could be like a tougher competition for him. You know, and he just dropped the ball. But Carlos by KO TKO in the second round, I'm not confident. Main fight in the card, we got Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady. This is the next one here, man. Leon Edwards is a very good fighter, man. He's a skilled guy, he's a veteran, experienced guy, good with the striking. Ground game is pretty good. Good takedown defense. Also, we look for the submissions also, I believe. I never really checked that out. I don't think he has much submissions, but he will also look for submissions also. But he has 3 by submission, 7 by. He's more of a decision guy though. Never been finished, never been submitted. The thing about Leon though, in his last fight here, he kind of stepped on Belal Muhammad. He didn't take that fight seriously. You know. He underestimated his opponent, which you should never do. And when Belal came in there and started letting the hands go and start pushing a high pace, you can tell that he was like, oh crap, you know, I wasn't expecting Belal to be like this. You know, he feels strong. I could see in his face that I could tell his body language like, damn, he feels strong. He feels strong, you know, and he hits hard, and his boxing doesn't look bad, you know. He's like hitting me up, he's touching me up. So it's like one of those things where he underestimated his opponent, right? So you never want to do that, right? Brady on the hand, Brady is good. Brady also lost to Muhammad, but you don't want to do that like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I believe Muhammad finished Brady in the second round with strikes, which that's actually his only loss in his whole career. You know, that's his only loss, right? So can he beat Leon Edwards? Like I said, Brady's skill, you know, we push a high pace, we look for wrestle, look for takedowns, you know, but Brady is hittable, can get knocked out, can get a hurt on the foot, will freeze. He will freeze up. He will also get tired in the fight. It's a 5-round fight. I mean, there are points, you know, like even with the Gilbert Burns fight, he was getting touched up here and there, he was getting taken down. You know, it's just one of those fights here where this one's a tough one to call, and I have the 50-50 because Brady could come in here and just chain wrestle and just take down Leon and do the same thing like what Muhammad did to him, because Brady is more wrestling based. But if Leon comes in here on point, trains and take it seriously, I feel Leon should win the fight. So I'm gonna go with Leon Edwards. They got Brady at 155, 160. I disagree with that. It's an even fight. It's an even fight, guys. I got Leon by decision, 50-50 though. Brady can win if Leon comes in there and does the same thing like what he did in his last fight. Then obviously he wins, right? You know, Brady grinds him out and chain wrestle him and take him down and beat him up 4 or 5 rounds. But if Leon Edwards is sprawling and keeping the fight standing up, he may have a problem. So I'm going to go with Leon Edwards. Like I said, Leon Edwards by decision, guys. All right? And that's about it right there, guys. Don't forget to check out my Patreon account. I will place the face-offs on there, prop plays, probably by Friday. I know the fight's a little earlier, so I have to check and see when the face-offs and weigh-ins are going to be. But yeah, and that's about it right there, guys. It's a quick little thing for you guys there. And you guys keep on kicking. One love out to everybody, guys. And